Welcome back. We've just heard from the Chancellor Rachel Reeves. She's talking about the increased GDP figures for May. They rose by 0.4% in May. They had been predicted just to go up by 0.2%. Let's listen in.
Well, it's welcome to have an increase in GDP, so important after the last few years of a flatlining economy. But there's clearly more work to be done, which is why in my first speech as Chancellor of the Exchequer on Monday, I announced significant planning reforms, ending the moratorium on onshore wind, reintroducing housing targets, calling in planning decisions on housing and data centres so we can get Britain building again, so we can grow our economy, which means we can improve living standards and have the money we need for our public services. We've just got started. There's a lot more to do, but I'm determined to fulfil that #1 mission of this incoming Labour government, to grow our economy and create good jobs right across the UK.
Do you think the economy is taking off?
Well, I hope that the plans that I've set in motion this week, the reform of the planning system, establishing the National Wealth Fund to co-invest with businesses, leveraging in billions of pounds of private sector investment, is what's needed to grow our economy and create good jobs right across the UK. There's a huge amount of work to be done. I've been in post for a week now. We've done more to reform the planning system in the first 72 hours I was in this role than the previous government did in 14 years. There's more work that I want to do, but we've got off to a good start. Businesses have welcomed our plans. I'm determined to do what's needed to grow our economy and ensure that working families have more money in their pockets.
Do you think the Bank of England should cut interest rates when it meets next month?
Well, the Bank of England are rightly independent. I was an economist at the Bank of England for many years before I became a member of Parliament, and so I respect that independence. But of course, I know that many people who have been struggling with higher mortgage rates after the Conservatives' mini-budget just under 2 years ago would welcome some relief with lower mortgage costs.
Final question.
Okay. Water in the news today. Huge problems facing water users and also the government with this. Do you think privatisation was a mistake and we should be moving towards public control?
It's clearly a bitter pill for people who are seeing today announcements about higher water bills. I mean, this reflects 14 years of failure from the Conservatives to drive investment, to reduce pollution and to ensure that families are not struggling in the way that they have been with the cost of living crisis. It's why the Secretary of State for Environment, Steve Reed, has called in the 16 bosses of the water companies today, and also we've already announced tough new rules to ensure that money that's supposed to go into infrastructure cannot just be paid out in bonuses, and tougher rules around polluting as well. We're determined to get a grip on the water sector so it delivers for consumers and so that we stop polluting our beautiful seas, rivers, and we will get a grip of that.